Hi, I'm Kylie and this is Saphira. We are on our 38th day of training and we're getting ready for the competition. My sister and I adopted two wild Mustangs, Saphira and Fiona. And if you guys are just joining us, go check out our very first video, the intro video, and then I also have a video where I update you 18 days into the training process. Now I'm 38 days into the training process, and I'd like to take you through some of the exercises I've been using with Saphira. The first exercise I'd like to show you is ground tying. Ground tying is where you drop the lead rope onto the ground, and you can run around your horse, walk around your horse, and the horse is not supposed to move, no matter what you do. I like to crawl underneath my horse, though I wouldn't do this with any other horse. I know Saphira very well, and I would only do it to her. With Saphira, we're still working on ground tying. Sometimes she'll move around just a little bit, but she's catching on to this exercise pretty fast. The next exercise is run up and rub. This one's really good if you have kids, because if the kids are running around your horse, you want your horse to be nice and calm. You start by holding the lead rope in your hand and you run up to your horse, just like any kid might do, and then you rub them so they know they're okay. Slap and walk is another exercise I've been working on with Saphira. This one is where you take your stick and string and you drop the lead rope like you were with ground tying, and you walk around your horse while you're slapping the ground. This one takes a little bit of getting used to for your horse, because in other exercises you use slapping the ground to get them to move. This is where body language comes in real handy, because you want to have a passive body language so that as you slap the ground, your horse knows not to move. The next two exercises are pretty simple. The first one is more of a desensitizing exercise, and the second one is more of a giving to pressure exercise. The desensitizing exercise is just getting the rope over the head. You want to toss it all over their head so they get used to something being on their head. And the giving to pressure is actually putting the rope around their butt, and then you want to pull on them so that they follow the rope all the way around in this circle. Giving to pressure is just where the horse will follow any pressure that's put on them. So whether it's being pushed into them or pulling away from them, you always want them to give into the pressure. Flexing the head and neck is a very important exercise to do when you're actually riding the horse. Even though I'm only 38 days into Saphira's training, I want to start this exercise as early as I can so that she's really used to it once we actually start riding. Flexing the head and neck is where you use the lead rope to pull their nose all the way to their sides. You want them to really touch both sides of their belly. And this exercise is really good when you're riding in the saddle, because if your horse ever tries to take off or is being really disrespectful, you want to kind of disengage their movement, especially for taking off. When that head comes around to their side, they can't take off with you anymore. Now their nose is stuck to their side, they can't run off. Another exercise Saphira and I have been working on is walking over a tarp. If you've seen my previous videos, you'll know that Saphira is cold-blooded. Because she's cold-blooded, getting her over the tarp at a trot is very difficult. But because I've been working with her, she's made major improvements. The teeter totter is another exercise that Saphira is not super great at. We're getting better at it, but it's another way to desensitize them, to get them to go over something that moves, which is a lot scarier than something that's solid. While you could go out and buy a teeter totter, here at the Barassi Ranch, we just decided to make one. So we just took a pole and a board and we screwed the board into the pole, and it works great. The next exercise I'd like to show you is laying down. To get to this exercise took a really long time. I had to teach her to back up, I had to hobble her, I had to teach her to flex and give to pressure. If you'd like to see a video on how to do this, please let us know in the comments. Now that I've gotten Saphira through all of that, to get her to lay down, I use a rope and I put it around her front foot and I ask her to pick it up, and then I clip reins to the side of the halter. With older horses you use a bridle. With Saphira, because she's really young, I just use a halter. So you pick up the foot and then you get her to flex. And after she flexes, you want to kind of rock her backwards and work her back till she kneels down on that front leg. Keep rocking her back until she falls all the way down onto her side, and then you want to release her, let her just lay down, hang out on the ground, have a good time, rub her all over, and just let her relax. This part right here is a very vulnerable part for the horse. To be laying down around the presence of a predator is very scary for the horse. So this is very hard to get your horse to do this. Because this is a very vulnerable position for Saphira, it's really helped build her trust with me. There are so many exercises out there that you can do with your horses. I've only shown you just a couple. At this age with Saphira, I want to get her used to as many different exercises as I can. I want to desensitize her to as many different obstacles, and I want her really giving into pressure, and so I do as many exercises as I can on that as well. If you want to see more exercises, go check out Maddie's video. She'll have some more exercises over there. Thank you so much for watching. Keep your eye out for future Mustang videos.